disable and make the intake active
Mm-hmm.
so that remaining other values again we have to redefine. No option
Okay.
to delete.
Okay. Okay.
That's a new thing I found. And for the PAN, validation is there in the form. When I try to enter 7 digits, it failed. It's said that
Mm-hmm.
you have to enter the 6 digits.
Okay.
Remaining everything
So
is
have you
done.
used any chart GP to generate this, or you defined it manually, each and everything?
Yeah, only the template I generated, but everything I wrote manually.
You wrote manually only, right? Okay.
Uh, just for our easy purpose,
Mm.
what I did is just
See, if you prepare a document like this, if you want to do the similar kind of setup again in future, you can go through this and you can define. Okay, no need to go through the video again and again. It will
correct,
be
correct.
very beneficial for you. Next time, if you do, you can do it in a maximum 1 hour or half an hour. Okay.
Correct, correct. Because now we know what step we have to do. We will
Uh,
write our understandable way,
yeah,
actually.
yeah, yeah.
So it will be more
What
clear.
happened to these guys, Seshu and
Oh, did they forget or what? I will call this time.
we have only two.
Hi, Santosh. Good morning.
Yeah, is it Vijaya?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that one.
Just one question. So in that session, you said like we are not touching the accounting method,
Mm.
right? We are
Mm.
using the standard. If in case we have to do the setup, what is the navigation or where should we
Which setup you are referring?
accounting method?
Even I am not aware of infusion to change the accounting methods.
Okay. Yeah, you said like it is not come under
See,
SCM.
completely it will not be our headache. It should be finance. No one will ask you as a SCM consultant.
Okay.
I'm joining from another desk laptop.
Okay. So, shall
Seshu
we
said,
start?
yeah, you can start. Seshu said in 5 minutes he will join. So
Okay.
meantime, we can.
Who is the other one?
Me only, me only. I told right. I'm joining from another. My husband's laptop I'm using
No, no.
today.
Actually, we have four members, right? You and Shiva, one more guy, right?
Shiva anyway will come late.
Okay, that's good.
Actually, today that SFI band right.
Mm-hmm.
So my kids both have the online classes.
Okay.
So they took my laptop and computer. Everything is busy. I'm finding
Okay.
the system.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Any more questions before we start?
So those two and uh, one more. That legal entity part only little confusion, Santosh. So
Mhm.
primary ledger after creating when assigning to the legal entity,
Mm.
uh, the purpose. What is the difference between those two?
Primary ledger and legal entity.
Hmm.
See, legal entity is to get your PAN number and TAN number, whatever we have, right, from the
Hmm.
government authorities. That we
Hmm.
need to register in the legal entity.
Legal entity. Okay.
Okay, whereas primary ledger is nothing but whatever you do, like purchase orders, sales orders, transfer orders, anything you do in our business, in our Fusion applications, everything has to be tracked through our ledger. It
Hmm.
shows what is your company, what is your cost center, and what is your division. Everything it will track.
Hmm.
Okay, the financial
Okay.
statements. At the later point of time, the company or the CEO or CFO, whoever it is, they want to see the financial statement. How much we got? Is there any profit and loss statements we have, right? That will be derived through these ledgers. Within
Okay.
this ledger, so what is our cost center? For example, I have a South America, North America, or South India, or North India. If I want
Shiva,
to see. if I want to see the revenue in my South India, so they can get the statements based on that ledger level also. Within that ledger, the cost center and everything, they will see the profit and statements. Okay.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, only the setup wise, first we legal entity through
First,
locations we
yeah,
will
yeah.
complete. That
Mm,
we will connect during the assign to legal entity part. For the created
correct.
primary ledger, we will connect that to legal
Yeah.
entity.
So
Okay.
the common mistakes generally students do is they forget to add that legal entity, forget to add that legal entity to the ledger.
Ah,
That
correct.
is the one step, and another step most of them are missing are while creating the accounts, right? You
Mm.
need to in the specify ledger options, you need to assign the liability account.
It's a mandatory field. It is not
Yeah.
allowing if
No,
we
but
don't
if
select.
you enter other than that liability account, it won't work.
Oh, expense asset.
No, won't work.
Oh, only liability account will
Liability
work.
account only it will take. Okay.
Oh, okay. Hmm. For the legal entity point of view, you're saying?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, okay. Down place it will ask the account.
Right.
Okay, okay. There it's anyway it is clearly mentioning to enter liability account only, right? The
Mm.
statement.
That retained account, right, Neil?
Yeah,
Ah,
retained
ah,
earnings account.
That
ah.
is, yeah, that we have to enter. It is a mandatory field.
Their liability account only we have to enter. That's what Santosh is saying. If
Yeah,
some expense or asset or some other account, if, because in the pop-up it is showing every account.
Yeah.
The filter should be there only for the whatever liable matching. Those accounts should come in the LOV, but in the LOV everything is coming. So we may tend to select anything, and that may cause error.
Right. Right. So
Okay.
if you see my screen, you guys can see my screen, right?
yes, Santosh. Yeah.
So we have completed this legal entity, which is nothing but enterprise structure, legal entities, ledgers, and everything we completed. And also we have seen what is the difference between our e-business suite and the cloud org structure. Now I would like to explain on the business unit overview. So business unit is nothing but whenever any company, like if you take Apple Corporation or Maruti Suzuki or Axis Bank, whatever it is. So if they want to do operations in a specific country, they have to create this business unit. Why do we need to create this business unit is it will give the list of functions. Okay. So are you going to do the requisitioning against this BU, or do you want to procure anything under this business unit? Or do you want to receive material through this business unit? Do you want to maintain any material management under this business unit? Invoicing, payments. So all these functions will be operated based on this business unit only. If you take any company, if they want to do any kind of transactions within a specific business unit, they will decide this BU will be doing this requisitioning part or purchase order creation part or receiving part or material, which means we are storing the material in our inventories. Are we doing invoices? Are we doing payments? Everything will be tracked based on this business unit only. This is the key. Based on this business unit only, you can decide this BU only for receiving the materials or only for making the payments or only for creating the requisitions, or I can make use of this unit, business unit for all these functions. Up to you. How you want to decide that specific business unit functionality that will be derived based on this business unit functions. The main purpose of this business unit is you can decide what function you wanted to do against that particular business unit. We will do in a real time, we may do multiple transactions, right? We may create materials, which means inventory, or we may do the requisitions or purchase orders we will do, or we will create invoices, we will make the payments. All these will be handled by this business unit only. So when I create a business unit, I would like to specifically mention in this business unit, I would like to do all these functions. Or if I want to do only that specific function, I can do. I don't want to do remaining all. Or I can do only requisitioning and business unit. procurement, but remaining I don't want to do. So this is nothing but whenever I create a whenever I create a business unit, what kind of functions you wanted to do, that will be derived based on this business unit. Whether it could be a requisition or procurement or receiving or material management, invoice and payments, for everything this business unit is mandatory. So everything will be tracked through this business unit. Again, we have two types of procurements we have. One is centralized procurement and another one is decentralized procurement. Centralized procurement is nothing but, if you see my screen, can you see my screen?
Yes. Can you? Okay. Yeah.
So if you see, this is called decentralized, which means I have three BUs here, BU1, BU2.
Shiva. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Santosh, go ahead.
Okay, so we have BU1, BU2, and BU3. For example, I have three different business units, and the request is nothing but someone is creating the requisitions. Okay, so I am starting a new office in BU1, which is in India, for example. I need some furnitures, I need some laptops or desktops. There might be so many materials I need, so that I will create a requisition first. Once I create a requisition, then it will come to the sourcing. Okay, you raised this requisition, you need 100 tables for an example. So those 100 tables, there will be a sourcing team. Sourcing team is nothing but they will do the negotiations with the suppliers. So whenever you create a requisition, it will come to the sourcing team. Your requirement is to procure 100 laptops for your business purpose. So our sourcing team will have a negotiation with Dell laptops, HP laptops, Lenovo, Acer, whatever it is. So they will do the sourcing and they will finalize the supplier. Once they finalize the supplier, then they will create a purchase order, which is nothing but buy. Okay, sourcing is done. Now I would like to buy some 100 laptops from HP, for example, so that I will create a purchase order in them. Once the purchase order is created, I would like to receive the materials to my inventory, then I will make the payment. Which here you can see is decentralized. Everything, every individual BUs have their features to do all these kind of functions team. They can create a requisition, they can involve in the sourcing module, they can procure the thing, they can make the payment. Everything will be done in a BU1 itself. Even for BU2 also we are providing all these. Even for BU3 also we provided all these. So which is nothing but decentralized. We are not depending on the BU2 or BU3 to do any kind of operations here. All the individual business units have all the functions to do the requisition part, sourcing part, buying part, and making the payment part. Everything is at their own business unit level, which is nothing but you are decentralized. If come to the centralized business unit, I have a BU1 and BU2, which let's say for example, we have another BU called BU3. So in order to requisition can come from any business unit, which means this 100 laptops requirement is we have for BU1 and BU2 also. But in between, we have another BU called BU3, for example. So whenever the request comes here, the sourcing will happen from the BU3, which means BU3 is our procurement resource for us. So whenever I create a requisition, the moment sourcing will happen from the BU3 and buying also from the BU3 and making payment also from BU3. And again, we will have this intercompany transaction between BU1 and BU2, which is called complete sales service or decentralized model. If our business unit have all the functions to do this, which is called decentralized. If we are relying on any other business unit, which is called centralized procurement. Any confusion here?
Which is the customer facing here, Santosh, in the shared one? In the shared service, which is customer facing?
Yeah. So here BU1, BU2, right? In between we have BU3 also. While creating the business unit, I will create some business functions. I will let you know. So when I create a BU1, I will take out this procurement and the invoicing part. I don't want to assign these functions to the BU1 and BU2. I would like to assign that procurement and payment functions only for my BU3. In such cases, whenever I create a requisition, it will come to this business unit for sourcing and purchasing and invoice. Everything will be done in BU3. So since the request is comes from BU1, we need to create intercompany transactions between BU3 and BU1 and BU2 and BU3.
So
To
this decision
coordinate,
will be taken by the business,
Business
right?
units, how they wanted to go with that specific business functions. They will clearly explain you. Do they want to follow this decentralized or centralized?
so can we consider the decentralized means within operations within OU,
Mm.
and the centralized means across OU?
Yeah,
If
you can do. You can do.
okay.
So can we switch in between, like suppose we initially we created with decentralized, but
Mm.
later if they want to create one more and that can we do that or
There
it's
should not be any open transactions. Okay. If you clear all
okay,
those open transactions, you can switch back to anything.
okay, got it.
So let me create a business unit first, then we will see what is this decentralized and centralized and business functions and all. Now I am back to my private instance. Go to setup and maintenance. Under this, I would like to select procurement. Once you select your offering as procurement, click on this organization structures. Click on this organization structure. What is this called in organization structures or suppliers approval management? What are these called?
Functional area.
Functional areas.
Functional areas. All these are called functional areas. The main one it is called as offering. Okay.
Offering.
Under this offering, I would like to select this organization structures, manage business unit. If your requirement is to create a new business unit, just click on this manage business unit. Click on the plus button. Whenever you want to create a new, just click on this plus button. So here you need to enter your business unit name. BT63 INDBU. This is my new business unit name. In case if you want to assign the manager name for this one, you can assign. Location. We also created some locations, right? If you want to assign, you can assign it. Have you created any locations at earlier?
Yeah. Same
Yes,
triple exclamatory
BT63.
BT63. Same.
BT63. Oh, someone created other locations also.
Yeah, I created.
Don't create like this, sir. Okay. If you want to create, use any other naming convention. Okay.
Okay,
Huh.
fine.
What we are doing is Santosh, BT63 underscore VLDN like that.
At
Which
least,
are,
at least you should do some naming convention very,
huh.
or else it will be
Correct.
confusing.
We are doing like that only.
So I
Same
would like,
yesterday I mentioned in that night, include
Yeah,
your name so that.
you can mention BT64 or BT65, any
yeah.
random number.
Okay.
So the default set. So if I take this default set name as, oh, not really. BT63. Yeah, if we have something like this, then it will be easy for me. Now, what is this purpose of this default set? This will plays very important role here, team. We will see in a while. For now, oh, again, it's going back to the
What is that manager, Santosh? Like,
any manager name like employee.
employee name. Okay.
So whenever we create a new business unit, if we have any manager name against that business unit, you can assign it. Here it's not a mandatory. This location and manager is not a mandatory, but this default set is mandatory. And what is the purpose of this default set? We will see in a while.
Okay.
Okay, so now I have just created one business unit, save and close. So already created. Who created this team?
Not sure. We did not go till that point.
I haven't created with that.
I think location. You cannot want.
No, yeah, we will see what is that location. So whenever I create a new business unit, the first thing you need to do is just click on this plus button. You can enter your business unit name, default set. These two are mandatory. This location and manager, if you want to assign, you can assign, or if you want to keep it null also, you can. We'll see what is the purpose of this location. Now, once you create your business unit, the second step is assign business unit business functions. This is very, very important thing. So you created your business unit, then what kind of functions the business unit has to perform? Just click on this. If I blindly click on this assign business unit functions, it is showing which business unit in AYABU1, which is someone is already created. It is by default, it is taking the previously used business unit. If I want to switch back to my business unit, just click on this hyperlink. Here you can see AYABU1. Just click on this. In the business unit, select and add. Under this, select and add, apply and go to task. Here you need to enter your business unit. Highlight this row, save and close. Here you can see assign business unit business functions. Under this business functions, you can see whether this BU for billing and revenue management, then enable this checkbox. If it is related to the collections, you can enable this. The first 4 or 5 related to your finance until here. Enter this lease accounting and incentive compensation, expense, customer payments, customer contracts, billing and revenue. These will related to your finance or some HRMS related. From our perspective, from here, as an SCM consultant, you should aware of what is this material management, which means I would like to create a materials under this, which means I would like to create a items. I would like to create items under this business unit. And payable invoicing. Yes, I would like to create invoices also. Payables payment. Once the invoice is created, I would like to do the payment also against this BU. Procurement, which means I can create a purchase orders against this BU. Yes. Contracts. If you have any procurement contracts, that also I would like to do, make it as enabled. Project accounting, I don't want to use it here. That is not in my scope. Receiving, yes, I would like to receive the materials against this business unit. Requisition, yes, I would like to create a requisitions also against this business unit. Revenue and compliance and accounting, I don't want to use this. Sales, yeah, I would like to do this. Service request, I don't have. So there is no harm if you enable all these also for your practice, but as an SCM consultant, you should be aware of at least we should enable these 6 or 7 we have here. Material management should be enabled, payables should be enabled, payment also should be enabled, procurement should be enabled, receiving should be enabled, requisitioning also should be enabled, sales also should be enabled. Clear so far? Any more questions till now?
Based on this only, the chargeability again that I will
See, for
Oracle charge.
example, yeah, for example,
Okay.
if I disable this, what will happen?
We cannot receive that.
You cannot receive any purchase order receipts using this business unit. Okay. So to receiving, this function should be enabled. Okay. If I remove this procurement, for example, what will happen?
PRs and purchase orders we cannot write.
We cannot create. So each and every checkbox has its own importance scheme. So make sure that whenever you create your new business unit, you should enable this.
So the first 3-4 are part of that receivables, right?
Yeah, receivables, this billing, customers, customer payments, and expense. These related to your finance. This is also incentive compensation. This is not part of SCM, and lease accounting also not part of SCM. You can no need to enable this. In case if you want to enable, you can enable. But
So sales order and all will come under your material management.
yeah, sales also we have enabled here.
So Santosh, displaying that functional areas in offering is independent from this one, right?
Which one?
Displaying the functional areas in the offerings, starting in the setup maintenance, whatever we see, that is independent of this one.
Yeah, independent.
Okay.
So I have enabled all the SCM related functions here. If I come to the right hand side, this is asking what is your primary ledger. Okay, you are creating a business unit. Here we are tagging our business unit with our legal entity and ledger. Here we are tagging our business unit with our legal primary ledger and legal entity, which means, okay, you are doing the procurement, which is nothing but your purchase order or requisitions or receiving any kind of transactions you are doing, that will be tagged to your primary ledger. So the primary ledger automatically assigned to your legal entity. This part we already did, right? Assigning the legal entity to the ledger, we already done. Now,
Yes.
now I would like to tag my business unit with my ledger. What is our ledger?
BT63 ledger, LE.
INDLE.
BT63.
LE.
BT63 India
LE.
ledger. Okay. So automatically it's taking the LE name also, which means we already tagged this. Click on OK. Now this enable below legal entity, if you enable this, this will be shown in your profit center business unit. If you don't enable this checkbox, you will not be able to create any kind of dropship orders. So to make sure that to enable this particular business unit as a profit center, you need to enable this checkbox. If you don't enable this checkbox, what will happen? We will see when we create a inventory organizations. Any more questions so far? So from this screen, you can see my BU is assigned to which ledger and which legal entity. Okay. Any more questions, team?
Can you reiterate that checkbox below legal entity?
If you disable this checkbox, you won't be able to do any kind of dropship orders in sales orders.
Okay.
So if you want to do any kind of dropship orders, you should enable this checkbox. So since our requirement is to create a dropship order also, I would like to enable this checkbox. Make sure that this should be enabled. If you disable this checkbox, while creating an inventory organization, you won't be able to see that profit center business unit. If you don't assign that profit center BU at inventory on, you will not be able to create dropship orders. All these are interlinked. Any more questions on this screen, team?
Santosh, these are the only functions that we can perform from the
Yes, from
business
BU
unit.
level. From BU level. Yes, these are the functions.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Save and close. There is a warning message, that is fine. Let's click on it. Now we are done with business unit and business unit function also. Now change this task to all tasks. Here you can see manage business unit set assignments. Manage business unit set assignments. What is the default reference data set we have given team? For this BU, when I create a business unit, I have provided my data set also, right?
Correct.
If you click on this, it is automatically taking BT63RD. Reference data set code as BT63RD for all these reference data objects. What does it mean is, for example, hope you guys see my screen. Is it visible, team? For all of you?
Yes.
Okay, so this payables payment terms, for an example,
Little maximize, Santosh.
if I maximize it, it's not fitting into the single page.
Enough.
Okay,
Enough.
so these are the payment terms, for an example. In EBS, if you want to create a payment term, for an example, net 30, we have a payment term called net 30. I would like to use this net 30 in US1 business unit, US2 business unit, and we have some UK financial service business unit and US high tech service business unit. If I want to use this net 30 payment term in 4 different business units, how will you do in EBS team?
Create a different payment term in each BU.
Each BU, we need to create the same payment term, right? Multiple
Correct.
times,
Mm.
which is a data redundancy or duplication we are doing. For here, what Oracle has provided that you can create the payment term at once, which is net 30. For each and every payment term, you can assign the reference data set, which is nothing but RD. Reference data set. That reference data set, if we talk about the payables payment terms, for example. Okay. So if you see here, payables payment terms, I have assigned to BT63 RD. Under this BT63 RD, I would like to assign only net 30 and immediate and prepayment. I would like to use these 3. Okay. Whenever I create these payment terms, I will assign them to my BT63 only. So that whenever I create a purchase order, since this is assigned to my BU, automatically whatever the reference data set we have given to these payment terms, only these 3 will appear when I create a purchase order. Are you getting my point?
So if you want to use that other dataset, we have to create one more reference dataset.
Yeah. So if you see this picture,
Uh,
US1 business unit, I would like to see these payment terms, net 30, immediate and prepayment. We have 3. For US2, I would like to see net 50, net 20, and net 30. So here, I am creating the payment term only one, but I'm just creating the reference data set. For this US2 business unit, I'm assigning the US2 BU set, which is reference data set. So whenever I assign this, here, if it is related to US, I will assign the reference data set related to US so that only these 3 will appear when I create a BU. If it is US1 business unit, I would like to assign the US1 BU set. So based on your business unit, you can pick any one of these payment terms. Either it is a US1 or US. So no need to create the same payment term multiple times. You will create this payment term only once, but when you create a payment term, you will assign the reference data set to that. I will show you when we create a payment term. Okay. So instead of creating the same payment term multiple times, we will just create this net 30 only once. But if you want to use this payment term for multiple business unit, we will have a common shared set also. Let's say, for example, this net 30 and net 60. I would like to use this common for my UK and US high-tech business units. So here I will create one more business unit, which is says that shared service set. Under this, I will assign this to. For UK, I will assign the same data set, which is special shared set here. And for US also, I will assign the same set so that these 2 payment terms will be available when I create a purchase order for UK and US tech PUs. Very confusing team.
okay, Santosh. Yeah.
We will see, okay, when I create a payment.
When we really see the data, it will be more
So
understandable.
yeah, not only this payment terms. So you can see the list of reference data set objects. We can share that reference data set level. So if we talk about, since this payable payment terms is the very simple one, I have explained. Similarly, we have a lot of other objects also. Receivables accounting rules, project rates, and grades, departments, everything will be hold reasons, cancellation reasons, everything will be based on this reference data set. So, which is nothing but how you wanted to provide your access when you create a purchase orders or holds. I don't want to see all the payment terms used by the other operating units. I would like to see the payment terms which are used by my BU. I would like to restrict this at my reference data set level. This is nothing but your manage set assignments. How you wanted to restrict your data, or when you create a purchase order, what kind of data you wanted to see. I would like to see only these first three payment terms. For example, I would like to assign my BU here with this US1 BU set so that it will display only the first three. Or if I assign this data set, I will see this three, 15, 20, and 30. If I assign this special shared set, I can see this net 30 and net 60. Up to you, how you want to display your payment terms when you create a purchase orders. Clear? Any more questions, team, so far?
So each category also we can we can assign different data set, right?
Yeah.
Santosh?
For each category, no need to
Uh,
use always the same difference data set. For this one,
uh,
I may use the US one here. For this freight terms, less climate regions I have, for example, I would like to use other one. You can use up to you.
okay. Mm.
Okay?
But we cannot assign two.
No.
Mm. Okay.
Basically, we need to create multiple reference sets, and based on that, I mean, restriction, we have to assign, right?
Yeah. So this is nothing but your reference data setting. The last one for the business unit here is manage service provider relationship. Just click on this. So this BT63 INDBU, I would like to, for payables payments, whenever I create an invoice, I would like to make the payment with this BU. And also procurement. I would like to create a purchase order also in this BU. So which means we are doing the centralized or decentralized here. Anyone? This falls under centralized BU or decentralized BU?
Only one, right? Decentralized.
Decentralized, right?
Yeah.
Let's say we have another example. I have one more called BT63 INDB. Okay. Whenever I would like to create a PO, I would like to use BT64. Then what will you do here?
Yeah, and then it's a centralized one.
Yeah. So in that case, I will remove this. And I will add the procurement service provider here. I would like to use this test BU1 for my procurement. In such case, I would like to remove this procurement service provided here, and I would like to use this test BU1 as my procurement, which means whenever I would like to create a purchase order, I won't be able to create any purchase order against this. I am relying on this test BU. And also for this BT63, remove the procurement button also. In the business unit business functions, remove that specific checkbox so that we will not be able to do any kind of purchase orders against this bill. So if you want to create a new purchase order, you can rely on this test BU, which is called centralized. We are relying on the another BU for my procurement purpose. Following team?
Yes. So for
So
test
if
BU, we need to have that same ledger, right? Both the.
Same ledger, yeah.
Okay.
and if we deselect for BT63, will it appear in the plus symbol here?
Sorry, come again.
Suppose if we remove that procurement for the BT63, okay?
We already deactivated here, right?
No. When we click on that plus symbol and search for that, will this BT63 appears here or
No,
not
it won't.
in the LOV?
If you remove that, it won't appear here. It should
Okay.
be like procurement enabled, then only it will display that BU.
Okay.
Okay. So this is how the service provider relationships. If someone asks you, or if you by seeing this application, are we following the decentralized or centralized? If you check these configurations, then you can get to know. First one is you need to check business unit business functions. And the other one is managed service provider relationships. If you check these two, you can get to know whether we are following the centralized procurement or decentralized procurement. Clear it? Any more questions? Tesu, Nilima, Siva?
So the payment terms and all currently we have assigned to that reference data set. So it
Reference
will
data
be
set, yeah.
wherever that reference data set is available for all that business
Payment terms.
units. Yeah, it will be visible, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So the next one is manage inventory organizations. As of now, we created, if I open this, we are done with business unit functions. Now I would like to create my inventory organizations. To create these inventory organizations, what is the purpose of this inventory org team? Anyone?
Where the actual items and all the
Yeah,
sub
the
inventory,
physical goods
physical.
will be, the physical goods will be located under this inventory orgs. Okay. To create this inventory org, there are 4 setups required. One is manage facilities, manage workday patterns, manage schedules, manage schedule exceptions. So what are these? Manage, if you see here, all these you can see it here. Manage facility shifts, workday patterns, all these you can see. So what is this facility is nothing but what kind of shift you are following. Are you working on some 9 to 5? What kind of time you are following? Or do you want to follow from 9 to 9, which is 24-hour shift? 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. So which is called 24-hour shift, or if you are following any 2 to 11 shift. So everything will be defined under this facility. Under this facility, we will define what kind of work timings we are following as per your business. Are you following the 9 to 5 calendar or 2 to 11 calendar, or are you providing 24/7 support also? That we need to mention what is our login time and logout time for every day. If you want to follow the 24-hour calendar also, just mention like 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. to 8 a.m., which is nothing but your 24-hour calendar. That will be defined under this facility. Workday pattern is nothing but how many days you are working in a week. Are you working from Monday to Friday, from 1 to 7 days, or 1 to 5 days? So what kind of workday you are following? That we need to define under this workday patterns, which is nothing but your workday patterns. So in a week, how many days you are working? Only from Monday to Friday, remaining 2 days will be off, or are you working all the 7 days? There is no holidays. Our production plant will continue to run 24/7. In such cases, I would like to follow my workday pattern as 1 to 7. And also, I would like to follow my workday calendar as 24/7, which is nothing but your 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. So there is no specific shifts. We are doing the business throughout the day, which means 24 hours we are doing the production. I would like to follow my 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. calendar here. And under the workday pattern, how many days you are working in a week, that we need to mention it here. So once we have these two, we can assign our facility to workday pattern, and the workday pattern will be assigned to the schedule. We will assign these two here. And the schedule exception is if we have any public holidays in a year. Okay, you are saying you are working 365 days, but in case if there is any mandatory holiday for your company, That schedule exceptions you need to mention it here, like 25th Christmas, 25th December, I would like to provide one holiday, or August 15th, I would like to provide one holiday. January 26th, I would like to provide a holiday. In case if you have any holidays, if you wanted to assign to your calendar, first you can define your schedule exceptions, which are nothing but your holidays throughout the year. Then you can assign these exceptions to your schedule. Schedule is nothing but your inventory calendar. Schedule is nothing but your inventory calendar. So using this schedule, you will get to know what kind of facility we are doing, which means are we following any 9 to 5 shifts or 24/7 shift. And using this workday pattern, you can get to know how many days we are working in a week. And the exceptions are nothing but in case if you have any public holidays, if you want to close your plant, or if you want to provide the production stoppage during this time, you can enter those exceptions also, which means we are not going to do any kind of transactions during this exceptions time. And we will assign all these facilities, workday pattern, and exception, everything to our schedule. Any more questions here? So to create inventory organization, inventory calendar also required, which is mandatory. To create this calendar, we required all this. We required all these setups. We required facility, we required workday pattern, we required scheduler exceptions, and finally we will create a schedule using this thing. Any more questions here?
So almost similar to the cycle count calendar we create, right? Similar way. Okay. Okay.
So to create this, the first one is manage facilities. Just click on this. Click on plus button. BT63 shift furniture. I have entered my shift name as BT63 shift. Enter your description and start time here you can see. Start time you can see 08:00:00. Duration 24 hours for example. So I don't want to enter my end time here. Automatically Oracle will take the end time. Since I have entered this 24, it will take the end time as 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. In case if you wanted to follow only 9 hours, you can just enter 9 hours. Or if it is your business is only for 8 hours, you can enter 8 hours. Automatically it will take the end time. I'm just entering my start time. There is no feasible to enter your end time. You will need to mention your hours. In a day, what is your work timings? I just said 8 a.m. is my starting of the business hour, and automatically it will calculate another 24 hours as an end time. Shift time, I'm using none for example. I'm not following any shift details here. I have mentioned none. Save and close. Any more questions so far in this screen team?
So there are days also, weeks also there, right? What is the
Welcome.
purpose? Okay.
So save and close. Now our shift is created and end time also it's automatically taken for this 24 hours, which is nothing but B63 shift. So if I click on this, the next setup is workday patterns. Just click on this workday patterns. Just click on this plus. Here I need to enter my BT63 workday pattern. I would like to do my production planning entire 7 days. Length in days is 7. What is your start day and what is your end day? And whatever the shift I have created earlier, that you need to select it here. I would like to select my shift name as BT63 shift. So we are attaching our shift to our workday pattern. We are following from 7 days. All the 7 days are working for us. Start day is 1 and end day is 7, which means we don't have any holidays for our production. So everything I have entered from 1 to 7 here. Whatever the shift I have created earlier, that I need to attach it here, 7 close. Once this workday pattern is created, I would like to create schedule exception also. Anyone has any questions? Schedule exceptions. Under the schedule exceptions, just click on this plus BT63 receipts. I would like to provide one holiday. What is the exception start date? Exception start date is December 25th. End date also 25th. I would like to provide only one day as a exception. Period type is off period. Period type is off period. From 25th December is holiday for me. You can enter your start date as exception start date. In case if you want to provide 2 days as holidays, 25th December to 26th December. Exception end date should be 26th December. Save and close. Like this, if we have 12 holidays or 10 holidays or 20 holidays for your specific calendar, that you need to enter all those holidays list there. Then once you create this facility shift, workday pattern and holidays, then we can create this schedule. Just click on done. Manage facility schedules. Manage facility schedules. Just click on this plus BT63 schedule. See here, most of the students are doing something wrong. Here is effective date. By default, it is showing today's date. You should change this to future date. You can change it to some 2040 to December 31st. If you don't change this effective to date, you will see a lot of errors when you do the real-time transactions. Make sure that this should be changed to the future date. Don't use the effective start date 10 and effective end date also 10. If you use this, then you will see a lot of problems when you do the real-time transactions. So here I can enter my workday patterns and schedule exceptions which I created earlier. Just click on this sequence number 1. TNBT63 workday pattern. Okay. I just assign my workday pattern here to my schedule, and my calendar will start from today to 31st December 24. In case if you have any schedule exceptions, if you wanted to assign it here, you can assign it here. BT63 Christmas. Similarly, if you have any other holidays, they will give you the list of holidays. You need to create like this, and you can keep on adding all those holidays list here. Save it. Yes. Any more questions from anyone? Team Nilima, Seshu, Siva. Our schedule also created now. So to create my inventory organization, this schedule is mandatory. To create this schedule, we need to define our manage facility shifts, workday pattern, and schedule exceptions. Once we have these three, then we can create our schedule and we can assign the schedule to our inventory. Clear so far, team?
Yes, Santosh.
Now, before creating this inventory organization, we have one more concept called manage item organizations, which is similar to your master organization in EBST. We will create the master organization first, right? What is the purpose of master organization team? Anyone? Why do we need to create a master organization?
If the same item need to assign to multiple logs, we will create in the master.
So master nothing but when you want to create a new item, first you will create under master organization. Once the item definition is created in master, you can assign that to your specific inventory logs. Master organization, we won't store any physical goods. Physically, nothing will be there. It's like a just logical representation of inventory log. Everything will be stored under this inventory organizations. Even when you create a purchase order or sales order, any kind of transactions, requisitions or POs, any kind of transactions, everything will be maintained by your inventory organizations only. But what is the purpose of this master organization is, let's say I have item del 5511. This is my item. I would like to create this item in my Fusion. Once this item is assigned, I would like to assign this to my Hyderabad and Bangalore. These are my inventories. Whenever I create a new item, by default, I will create this item in my master. I will create it under this master. If I want to assign this item to my inventory, I can go to that associations button and I can assign this. But what is the purpose of this master here is, let's say for this item we have 290 attributes we have. We will see what are those 290 attributes, which are nothing but asset enabled, inventory item, sales order item, returnable item, what is the purchase order price, purchasable enabled, interorg enabled. There are list of 290 attributes we have. So whenever I change this attribute at a master level, I would like to change the attributes in my Hyderabad org also. Automatically it should do. So if you don't have this master org defined, you will not be able to maintain such kind of relationship between your master org and your child org. So the moment I change any of these attributes at item master, I would like to change this attribute to my Hyderabad and Bangalore. If you don't have this master org, it is very difficult for you to update the attributes in each and every org. The maintenance is very, very high here if you don't have this master org defined. And also the data accuracy also. If you want to do the same kind of updates, let's say you have thousands of inventory orgs. If you want to do any update on the specific flag, that should be common for all of these, then you need to go to this all the inventory orgs and you need to do the update one by one, which is tedious. That's why Oracle has provided this master org to maintain your relationship between, and also you can manipulate these 290 attributes. These 290 attributes can be manipulated either at org level or master org level. We will see maybe in next class. But the main advantage of this master organization is you can maintain this all those 290 attributes. Whenever I do any kind of updates at item master, if I want to show the similar kind of updates in my child, that can be achievable through this item master organization. And this is not a physical location. This item master organization is logical representation. Physically, nothing will be there. And even when you do the real-time transactions, no transaction will be performed under this master org. This is only for your item tracking. That's it. So master organization, nothing but here we can call it as item organization team. In Fusion, one of the interview question things. If someone asks you what is the difference between item organization and inventory organization, you should be in a position to explain it. Master organization is a logical representation. Physically, nothing will be there. No transaction will be performed under this master org. Then what is the advantage of using this master org? For example, we have these 290 attributes. If you want to manipulate any of these 290 attributes, the moment I do any kind of updates on my master, automatically it will reflect in my child. And again, we have two different options. How you want to control that, whether at inventory org level or master level, that another we have a different concept. But if you want to do any kind of updates in this 290, this master will be very, very helpful in that case. Clear thing? Any more
Okay.
questions?
So inventory organization is only we will defining the calendar details.
Yes.
Item organization
See,
is there.
yeah, only for the item creation, that's it.
Only item
Nothing will
creation.
be there, nothing. You won't do any kind of operations other than that item creation.
Mm, mm.
So
Okay?
in ABS, I think only certain attributes only we will propagate to org level, right? So here,
Similarly, here also we have, that's why we have some org level control attributes and master level control attributes. If you want to control the item attributes at master level, then this master org will be very, very useful.
okay.
So let me create item organization first. Here you can see manage item organizations. Just click on this manage item organizations. Just click on this plus button. You can enter your item org name BT63 IAMO item master organization. Organization name also same. Remaining on, don't give anything here. So no need to provide the business unit name, no need to provide the legal entity, address, nothing. I don't want to provide any information here for my master. Just click on next. Here, item master organization also same. BT63 IMO, that's it. I don't want to pass any value, whether it still belongs to a specific BU or specific location. Nothing is there. I'm just defining one master and I have created this item master itself BT63 IMO, which is the master for the same. That's it. When we create a new inventory org, we will see what is this profit center, what is this inventory orgs, locations, everything we will save and close. This is just like a logical representation team. Nothing will be there. Just create item master and don't provide any of those details. Just create one master, then remaining all fields should be blank. Once you have this master on, then go back to your inventory organizations. Here you can define your own inventory orgs. Just click on this plus button. You can enter your BT63 HYD for example. Here all these are mandatory. Business unit is mandatory for this inventory org. Location is mandatory for this inventory org. And primary ledger also mandatory. And legal entity also mandatory. Profit business unit, everything we need to populate here. Let me populate this business unit name. BT63 INDBU. So the moment I assign this business unit name, automatically this primary ledger came up here. How it is automatically populated here?
Send that to the primary ledger.
Hmm?
We assign that business unit to the primary ledger, right?
While doing the manage business unit business
Mhm.
functions, we have assigned the ledger name also to the BU, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
that's why it automatically taking this. So if you see this legal entity, BT63.
Mm.
So I have enabled that enable below legal entity checkbox, right? If you don't enable that below legal entity checkbox, you will not be able to see the profit center business unit here. It won't display if you don't enable this enable legal entity checkbox. I would like to assign my location also for this inventory. BT63.
Hyderabad location.
Hyderabad location. I would like to assign it here. So we have assigned all the mandatory information here. So for my inventory of managed business unit is mandatory one. Ledger also mandatory, and also location also mandatory. I would like to provide all the information whenever I create a new inventory organization. Just click on next.
So, Santosh, here they have given LOV for the legal entity means this ledger can be assigned to multiple legal
Legal
entities.
entities also, yeah.
Okay.
So the item master organization, what could be our item master organization here, team, for this one? For this VT63 HYD, what could be the item master organization?
BT63 IMO.
IMO, yeah, I would like to assign it here. BT63 IMO. Here, item grouping behavior. We have two options, reference organization and definition organization. Reference organization and definition organization. If I select this reference organization, what does it mean? If I select this definition organization, what does it mean? If I select definition, for example, okay, so let's say, for example, you have this item, Dell 5511. This is my item. And we have these 290 attributes. If I use definition organization here, even for my Hyderabad and Bangalore also, I will have a provision to update this. I will get a provision to update these attributes at my Hyderabad and Bangalore also. So let's say you have these 290 attributes. If it is ARC control item, for example, returnable flag, for Hyderabad, I will accept returnable flag to Y. For Bangalore, I don't want to provide any returns, which means returnable flag is set to N. I have a provision. If I use this definition organization, I can update my Hyderabad and Bangalore these 290 attributes, either yes or no. But if I use this reference organization, I don't have a provision to update my attributes at org level. Whatever we have at item master level, that will be default for this, all the BUs which you have. Sorry, all the inventory orgs which you have. Clear, team? You don't have a provision to update these 290 attributes at item level. Whatever we have at your master, the same will be applicable for your inventory orgs also. If I have the value as yes at master, the same will be applicable for Hyderabad and Bangalore. You don't have a provision to update at inventory org level for all those 290 attributes. If I use this definition organization, yes, I don't care whatever I have in my master level, I will have a provision to update my inventory org level also. If your business is too high and if you have lakhs of items, and also if you want to follow the same item properties, if you want to assign across your inventory hours, then go with this reference organization. But your business is, it's okay to maintain the item properties at org level, go with the definition organization. Performance wise, if you want to increase, if your items are very huge and lakhs of items you have, then they will choose this reference organization. Clear, team? Any more questions? So the next one, starting revision. So this revision is nothing but first you are creating an item. First you create an item, later you modified something on the top of that item. That time you will create a revision. So how you want to populate your revisions? Do you want to start from 0 or do you want to start from 100 or do you want to start from A, up to you? So it will nothing but you will keep on changing the revision numbers. Whenever I create a new revision to my existing item, what could be the starting revision number? Do you want to start with 0 or 100 or 200, whatever it is? Here I am saying, whenever I create a revision, they should start from 0. Next, if I create another revision, then it will come to 1. If I create another revision, then come to 2. Like that, it will keep on creating the revision numbers. The schedule is nothing but whatever we created earlier, that I would like to assign it here. BT63 schedule. This time zone, whatever the time zone you wanted to follow, that you can enter it here. This locator control, we will see we have a separate 2 hours class on this locator control, not control and serial control. We will discuss it there. Any more questions so far in this form team? Definition, organization, or the revision number or schedule. Any questions so far?
Yeah, repeat the definition and reference.
So if I create a new item in my organization, which is nothing but my master organization, I have 290 attributes. Okay. So whatever the attributes I have defined at master level, the same will be applicable to my inventory also without any changes. I will not have a edit provision to change these attributes at org level. Everything will be freezed. You don't have a edit option to update any of these attributes at inventory org level. Whatever we have at master, the same applicable to your child ops, which is your inventory ops.
That is reference.
Reference
If
organization. Yeah.
okay.
Definition means even though you are updating this at item master level, still you may have a provision to update your inventory options.
Okay. Okay.
See, this is very helpful when you have a huge inventory. Okay, so in real time, if some clients may use lakhs of items, so if we maintain these attributes at org level and master level, there will be some performance issues. That's why Oracle has introduced this reference concept also. If your characteristics are same, then you can go with that reference organization. So it will be no burden for your server and you can retrieve the item very easily. So up to business, how they wanted to go with this reference organization or definition organization. Most of the
So
clients will be
once we select here means it is applicable for all the items.
all the items, yes. Org
We
level.
can
We are
org level.
controlling at org level.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So yeah, so this enable inventory tracking by project. This is not related to us. This is related to projects. You can ignore. Enable inventory tracking by country of origin, which is nothing but whenever I want to query my item based on my country of origin. Let's say we have procuring different. Our client is Apple. Okay, we are manufacturing Apple phones, but we are procuring the material from different suppliers for batteries, our processors, our camera lens, our back plates. We are procuring all those raw materials from different suppliers. So whenever I procure the material, I can procure it from South Korea, or I can procure it from North America, or I can procure it from China. So whenever I receive the material to my inventory, if I enable this checkbox, I can how the item on hand quantity will show here is first it will display the org name. Under this, it will display your sub inventory. Under this, it will display your item, and here it will display the on hand quantity. So how much quantity we have. But if I enable this tracking by country of origin, after this Hyderabad, if you receive this material from South Korea, then it will display the country of origin name also, if you enable this. If you want to maintain such kind of inventory mechanism, I have received this 1,000 from South Korea. Similarly, if I receive another 1,000 from my North America or China, it will track your inventory based on your country of origin also. On top of this sub inventory and item, it will add one more layer called country of origin. So that whenever you receive the material, it will clearly show you this item is received from this country of origin. This material is received from this country of origin. It will show you like this if you enable this. Clear thing? The next one. Warehouse app accepts substitute items, which is nothing but you added some iPhone processor. XC 011. but the supplier doesn't have this processor. He has the similar kind of processor which is related to same, everything is same. There are slight differences between these two. Maybe this is an advanced model. In case supplier doesn't have a stock on this, if you want to send this material, if you want to accept that kind of material and enable this checkbox, warehouse accept substitute items. We are requesting him to send this material, but supplier doesn't have a stock for this item. He would like to send this material. If you want to accept such kind of materials, then enable this checkbox. If you don't want to accept such kind of materials, then don't enable this checkbox. Clear, Tim? Any more questions here? Now, allow negative balances. As of now, we have only 1,000 quantity in our on hand, for example, for this item. iPhone 15, for example. iPhone 15, in our inventory, we have only 1,000 items, but we have a sales order. We have a sales order for 1,005 items. As of now, we have only 1,000, but we have a sales order, which is 1,005 items. If you want to accept such kind of sales orders, then enable this checkbox so that the negative, once the sales order is created, then on hand will comes to this -5. Even though if we have enough stock, even though if we don't have enough stock, still if you want to fulfill the sales orders, enable this checkbox so that the on-hand quantity will comes to -5. If you don't want to allow such kind of transactions, then disable this checkbox. Clear? Any more questions so far? This one, allow negative on-hand transactions. This will comes to your cycle counting team. Whenever you do any cycle countings, if you want to accept the negative on-hand balances also, you can do. That we will see when we do the cycle counting. Use original receipt date. Okay, I have created a PO, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, for example. So for this processor, and I have received this item on 10th of this month, 10th July. And the receipt date is today. But later, I have transferred this material from my sub-inventory A to sub-inventory B. Initially, I received this material on 10, but later I have moved this material from, so in sub-inventory A, I have received, for example. Later, I have moved this material from sub-inventory A to sub-inventory B. In such cases, if you want to add this date, if I enable this checkbox, use original receipt date, whenever I do the sub-inventory transfer, it will use this date also. It will take the date from here and automatically it will, whenever you do the sub-inventory transfer also, it will populate this initial original receipt date. Original receipt date. If you don't want to populate this original receipt date, then disable this. So it will help the inventory. Even though if you do multiple sub-inventory transfer or inter-order transfer, it will give you the original receipt date for this item. If you want to track that, enable this, or else you can disable this. Clear? Any more questions?
This is a very important feature in EBS. So here they gave optional. So that's the surprising thing actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Round reorder quantity. This round reorder quantity is nothing but when you do the min-max planning, for example. When you do the min-max planning, so you will set some minimum level, right? So let's say you are entering some 100 is your minimum quantity. And the fixed lot size is 150 quantity. The lot itself, it will take 150 quantity. So the minimum quantity is saying 100, but the lot, it has to be received at least 150. In such cases, it will round the quantity to 150 and it automatically creates the PO for 150 quantity. And these two related to cancelling of the back order stream. So whenever you create a transfer order or sales orders, If the quantity is not enough in your warehouse, do you want to automatically cancel those back order items? You can enable this too. If you don't want to cancel, let's keep them as is so that they will keep on waiting until you receive the quantity for the shortages also. If you want to cancel automatically, let's say you got a sales order for 1,000 items, but you have only 900, so that you can ship those 900, this remaining 100 will be automatically cancelled if I enable this checkbox. In case if you don't want to cancel those short ships, just don't enable this checkbox. It will keep on waiting. Once you have the inventory back, then automatically it will fulfill the sales order. But if you strictly following, I don't want to do any waiting process. The moment if I don't have enough stock, automatically cancel the transfer orders or sales orders, enable this too. Clear team? Any more questions so far? The last one is use current item cost. Whenever you do the miscellaneous receipt or miscellaneous issue, there is a button here, the use current item cost. If you make it as use current item cost, default here, every time you no need to enter those, no need to select those check marks. By default, it will display as use current item cost. If you disable this, every time when you do the miscellaneous receipt or issue, you need to select this value manually. I would like to take it here. These additional usages, organization is a manufacturing plant. This is related to your manufacturing team. In case if you want to do any kind of work orders or work definitions, you should enable this organization is a manufacturing plant. If you don't use any manufacturing related stuff under this inventory org, then don't enable this checkbox. If you enable this checkbox, then it will be treated as your manufacturing plant, which means you will be doing the production also under this inventory org, which means you are preparing some materials using this inventory org. Under this inventory org, you are doing some manufacturing process. If this is not enabled, this is not a manufacturing or normal inventory org. Clear team so far on this page? Any more questions? Click on lot and serials and packing unit. This we will see in day 12 thing. When we see the serial control and lot control, what are these options we will see there. Under this item sourcing details, you are keep on receiving some materials, right? You may get materials from different suppliers to your inventory. Whenever I create a sales order, how you want to pick those materials? First in, first out, or last in, first out, that you can enter it here. Whenever you create a sales order, how you want to pick the material? What is your sequence criteria to pick the material? Whenever you receive the first one, that should be picked by your picking rules, then make it as FIFO. First in, first out. Which means whatever the item we received first, that has to be consumed first when we get a sales orders. And sub-inventory order also. When I create a sales order, whenever I create a sub-inventory, there is a ordering sequence also. If I mention the order number as 1 there, it will directly pick the material from that sub-inventory. If we don't have any material, then it will go to any other sub-inventory. But here we are just giving the preference which sub-inventory to pick. In case if you have any sub-inventory to pick, that number you need to enter it here. Similarly for locator also. If you have multiple locators, which locator from that item has to be picked from which locator first. If you want to provide that locator order also, you can mention it here. Over picking for movement request enabled. Let's say we are getting the sales order for one of the item for 1,000 quantity. So still if you wanted to pick 1,001 quantity, if you want to allow such kind of functionality, then enable this. Allow over picking for special and same for this one. This is for movement request and this is for sales orders. Automatically populate picked quantity during the pick confirm. If you want to populate the picked quantity. When I do the pick confirmation phase, I need to enter the pick quantity manually. In case if we want to populate this pick quantity automatically, whatever we have on the sales order, enable this. In case if there are any exceptions happen, I would like to track that exception information also here. If you want to enable this, you can enable it. This additional information is nothing but if you want to create any DFF and DFF information here, you can create those additional information. Well, as of now, Oracle has given these different fields here. In case if your client is not satisfied with this existing field, if he asks us to create any other additional fields under this inventory all page, you can create any number of fields here too. Up to business. If they want to create any other additional information here, you can create it. This is nothing but your inventory or creation team. Any more questions? Under general tab, here we have the item master organization, revision number and schedule is mandatory. And that's it. Remaining all are optional. Remaining everything is optional.
So, Santosh, that sourcing details, if you enter any this, that is treating as a custom rule or it's a standard rule?
We have a standard one also. You can define your custom ones also. In the manage picking rules, we will see when we create a rules. So which is nothing but which item has to be picked first. You can create your custom rules also.
Okay.
If you create any custom rule, you can enter that custom rule name here.
If you put it blank?
It can take from any sub inventory.
Oh, okay. Randomly.
It won't. We are not giving any preference here. It will pick it from any sub inventory.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Save and close. Similarly, I would like to create one more inventory which is for my Bangalore. BT63 Bangalore. And business unit is INDBU. You can enter your address as BT63 Bangalore location. Same legal entity is also same for this. Next. Go to general tab. Enter your master organization. BT63 IMO. Here I would like to go with definition organization. Schedule is BT63 schedule. That's it. I don't want to assign anything else. That's it. If you want to make it as a manufacturing plant, and then save it. Now we have defined our inventory and sensitive. The last topic for today is sub-inventories and locators. Anyone knows what is sub-inventory?
The place where the material will
See,
store.
yeah, based on your requirement, there might be a number of sub-inventories team. Client may ask you to define. The important one here is we may, let's say for example, we have stores and we have raw materials and we have scrap sub-inventory and we have cold store, for example. Likewise, you can create any number of sub-inventories team. Client will give you the list. So based on the list, you can create that many sub-inventories. Stores means whatever the final products ready to sell to the customers that will be maintained under the stores. Raw material is nothing but, let's say stores is nothing but Apple iPhone 15 as an example. iPhone 15 or 16 or 17, whatever it is. I would like to store all these materials under my store sub inventory. Raw materials are nothing but to manufacture this iPhone 15 and 16 and 17, I may require processors, batteries, or camera lens, backplates. There are so many items we require to manufacture our item, which is Apple iPhone 15. So I would like to keep any raw materials. I would like to use this raw materials sub inventory. In case while doing the manufacturing, I am doing the Apple iPhone 15, production is doing. So while doing the manufacturing, something has happened and it's damaged completely. Now I would like to move this to my scrap sub inventory. This item is no more useful for me. If I want to move this material from my stores to scrap, I can move this material to scrap also. Or if I want to move any items which is in cold store, I need some AC conditions to be available for those items. If I want to place that items in a cool place, if we have that sensible items, then I would like to keep those materials under this cold store. If you have such kind of materials, then you can place them into the cold stores. Business may ask you to create any number of sub-inventory stream up to business. So sub-inventory is nothing but where exactly you are placing the material. So are you placing the material on the store or sub-inventory, raw materials or scrap or cold store, or there might be any other sub-inventory also. Up to business. To create the sub-inventories, we need to go to the manage sub-inventories and locators. If I go to my setup and maintenance, manage sub-inventories and locators, this is the global task team. In case if you want to find any specific task, you can query like this. Click on this manage sub-inventories and locators. So make sure that you should be under your inventory. By default, so in 001, you need to change your organization. BT63 HYD. Select this inventory. Under this inventory, I would like to define my inventory sub-inventories. You can enter your sub-inventory name here, which is stores. If you have any meaningful information, you can enter it here. If you want to undate it later, you can undate it here also. This locator and location, everything we will see later. Just click on save and close. I just created one sub-inventory. Similarly, if you want to create raw material also, save and close. Similarly, if I want to create scrap, you can create scrap sub-inventory. And the last one is cold store, for example. 7. I have created 4 different sub-inventory streams. Based on my requirement, I keep on adding the inventory under cold store or scrap or raw material or stores. Any more questions here?
Nothing, Sesh.
Nothing, right? Nothing, right? So now I would like to change my organization to Bangalore. BT63 Bangalore. Here also I can create this inventory of stores. So what is this material status? What is this locator control, location? Everything we will see in while creating the structure scheme. Now I would like to create one more JS material. 7. And one more is damage, for example, or rework or damage or anything, okay? Based on the client requirement, you can create that many sub-inventories. Sub-inventories are nothing but where you can exactly place the items within your inventory. So after completion of these sub-inventories, we are done with our enterprise structure team. So we created enterprise, division, primary ledger, legal entities, business units, inventory orgs, and the next step should be item creation. We will see tomorrow, which means on Monday we will see how to create an item. Everything is ready, team. So to create this item, all these are required. So we have completed all the prerequisite setups. My next step is to create an item. Before creating an item, there are some item related setups also we will see on Monday.
Okay.
If you don't have any questions, please feel free to drop out. And that's all for today.
So that warehouse management type, all these organization types, we will not define here. LCM, all this.
No, no.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Means all the functionalities applicable for all the organizations.
Which functionality?
Um, like in ABS, we have specific functionality related to WMS and specific functionalities related to LCM, right? So just now you said like we cannot distinguish or we cannot separately enable or mark the ARG as WMS enabled or LCM enabled.
No, we don't have that features.
Okay, so that means in Fusion, whatever the functionalities or whatever setups we are doing, that is all applicable for all the.
So only thing is, if we want to do any manufacturing, we enable the checkbox, right? Organization as a manufacturing plant, which means that is related to your in WMS you are saying, right? Here we are saying it as manufacturing.
Manufacturing is related to WIP, work in progress. The warehouse management is LP and stars.
No, we don't have such.
So even project enabled also we have that checkbox, right? That is PGM enabled. It will come generally in EBS. So okay, here at this level, Vijay, then only WIP and PGM we can enable here.
Means there is no LPN related transaction.
Maybe they have mod.
So whatever you can see under that item organization definitions, right? Those only applicable. We are not specifically enabling for any other LCM or nothing here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about OPM?
Process manufacturing, you mean?
Yes, yes.
So there is nothing like that here. Okay? Everything will be used for any of those operations.
Maybe functionally when we go to that particular transactions, we'll come to know. I think transaction level may have difference.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Material status also only at sub-inventory level, right, Santosh? Not at
Yeah,
org level.
item status and some inventories also.
Yeah, not at org level.
Not at org level, nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
We have two item status. Either it can be sub inventory or item.
Item. Okay.
Okay. That's all for today.
Yeah. Thanks, Santosh.
Thank you.